स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवघितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम।
நான் உன பெல் அடிக்கட்டுமா? மணி அடிக்கட்டுமா? நீ எது பண்ணுறல? ஓகே சரி.
वासोऽसि वासुदेव नमोऽस्तुते। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ केशवाय नमः। ॐ नारायणाय नमः। ॐ माधवाय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ विष्णवे नमः। ॐ मधुसूदनाय नमः। ॐ त्रिविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ वामनाय नमः। ॐ श्रीधराय नमः। केशाय नमः। ॐ पद्मनाभाय नमः। दामोदराय नमः। ॐ वासुदेवाय नमः। ॐ संकर्षणाय नमः। ॐ प्रद्युम्नाय नमः। ॐ अनिरुद्धाय नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ मधोक्षजाय नमः। ॐ नारसिंहाय नमः। ॐ अच्युताय नमः। ॐ जनार्दनाय नमः। ॐ भूपेन्द्राय नमः। ॐ हरये नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। वासुदेवाय नमः।
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना। भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रम् अकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनोर्ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अफाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। पाराशर्य वचस्सुधां सुमनसः दुग्धाब्धिमध्योद्धृतां संसाराग्निविदीपन व्यपगत प्राणात्मसञ्जीवनी पूर्वाचार्य सुरक्षितां बहुमतिं व्याघात दूरस्थिताम् आनीतां तु निजाक्षरैः सुमनसः भौमाः पिबन्त्वन्वहम्। योगोशतं कनकशृङ्गमयं ददाति विप्राय वेदविदुषे च बहुश्रुताय। पुण्यांश्च भारतकथां शृणुयांश्च नित्यं तुल्यं भवति तस्य चैव। निगमकल्पतरोः गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवत रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः। वन्दे वृन्दावनचरं वल्लवीजनवल्लभम् जयन्ती सम्भवं धाम वैजयन्ती विभूषणं। वाचं निजाङ्करसिकां प्रसमीक्षमाणः वक्त्रारविन्दविनिवेशितपाञ्चजन्यः वर्णत्रिकोणरुचिरे वरपुण्डरीके बद्धासनो जयति वल्लभचक्रवर्ती। आम्नाय गन्धरुधितस्फुरितदरोष्ठम् आत्स्लाविलेक्षणमनुक्षतमन्दहासं गोपालडिम्बवपुषं कुहना जनन्याः प्राणस्य नन्दनमवैमि परं पुमांसम्। आविर्भवत्यनिभृताभरणं पुरस्तात् कुञ्चितैकचरणं निभृतान्यपादं दद्धन्नानिमन्त मुखरेण निबद्ध तालं नाथस्य नन्दभवने नवनीतनाट्यम्। हर्तुं कुम्भे विनिहितकरः स्वादुहय्यङ्गवीणं दृष्ट्वा दामद्ग्रहणचटुलां मातरं जातरोषां पायादीशतुः प्रचलितपदो नापगच्छन्न तिष्ठन् मिथ्या गोपः सपदि नयने मीलयन् विश्वगोप्ता व्रजयोषितपाङ्गवेधनीयं मधुराभाग्यम् अनन्यभोग्यमीडे वसुदेववधूस्तनन्दयं तत् किमपि ब्रह्मकिशोरभावदृश्यम्। अधराहितचारुवंशनालाः मकुटालम्बिमयूरपिञ्छमालाः हरिनीलशिलाविभङ्गनीलाः प्रतिभासन्तु मम अन्तिमः प्रयाणे। जानकीकान्तस्मरणं गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं। With the abundant blessings and the benign grace of Paramatma and the presiding deity of this holy premises, which is Sri Rama Parivar, we have been very fortunate enough, both as a speaker and as an esteemed audience, both the Vakta and the Shrota, to be witnessing the essence of Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuranam for a series of 7 days. We have very sincerely completed 4 days of lectures. We got to experience the Rahasyam, and we also delineated why this work was born. After having understood Parikshit's position while he was ordained to die with the bite of a snake called Takshaka in 7 days, how did he spend those 7 days? 24 cross 7 he has got. How did he spend? That is when Vyasacharya, Krishna Dvaipayana's son called Vedavyasa comes, and Vedavyasa gives him, Vedavyasa's son called Shukabramham comes, and Shukabramham answers all the questions raised by Parikshit Maharaj. This questioning and him answering, this compilation is Srimad Bhagavatam. In that Srimad Bhagavatam, we briefly discussed about Kunti's prayer to Krishna, Bhishma's stuti to Krishna, Brahma's dilemma in creation, then the creation of through the Panchikarana Prakriya. Then we also saw how Varahavataram took place. We discussed briefly the Charama Shlokam of Varahavataram, Nisimhavataram, Kurmavataram, Vamana Trivikramavataram, Dhruvacharitram, Pruthucharitram, Dakshayajnam. Then we also understood some other partial manifestations of the Lord like Kapila Vasudeva and Rishabhanatha. Then yesterday we got into Krishna Avataram because on the 4th day it is mandated in the Saptaha Kramam that Krishna should be born. But like the school teacher who has to complete a lot of portions, I completed. But there are a few more portions left. I'll complete that and then head back to Krishna Avataram. One is a very interesting avataram called Matsya Avataram. Matsya Avataram, remember, this was not the first of the avatarams. Though we put that first in Dashavataram, it is not the first avataram. But this Matsya Avataram has a twofold purpose. Here it begins like this. Kale nagata nidrasya dhatuhu shishayor bali shishaishor bali mukhato nistritan vedan hayagrivoontike harat. Brahma is bestowed with the Vedic knowledge. It is often said that he has got each of his faces to recite the mantras of each of the Vedas. That said, Vedic knowledge in itself for a very long time was passed from the teacher to the student using only Shruti and Smriti as the method. You listen and you remember. No notes. Very lately, sometime we don't even know, then at that point in time those manuscripts came into picture. Vedas were always transferred through sound, which is you listen and you remember. Unlike the engineering semester pattern. See, in a semester we have 4 or 5 courses. I don't know, maybe you're all great engineers, but I'll tell you what I was. So we used to have 6 courses a semester: thermodynamics, mass transfer operation, heat transfer operation, mechanics of solid. The greatness about these subjects were you should remember, write the exam and then comfortably forget. Next semester we'll have one set of new courses. But Vedas aren't like that. Please remember, 8 to 9 years a student spends technically in a Patashala to become a Salakshana Ganapati. That person has to remember the entire Vedam It is not that after 2 years you can forget. You should not have notes. They rely so much on memory power. So Brahma too was doing a good job. His major responsibility was production, and a lot of it happened in Bharatadesham and China. So one day while he was a bit tired of production, 7 days itself is tough to listen for lectures. If they say 48 days, like how, Anantarama Dikshitar used to do Mahabharata Mandalam. 48 days he will do lectures on Mahabharatam continuously at a stretch. And people used to attend. So, Brahma got a bit tired. He yawned. During Vedanta Kalakshepam, it is said, if you yawn, until then, whatever you have listened, you will forget. Sir, you should have told this on day 1. Kalena gata nidrasya dhatuhu. See, we can't blame ourselves because it is Vedanta Kalakshepam. How can you listen to it without yawning or moving? Brahma yawned. It is said that as Brahma yawned, that knowledge went away. It was stolen. How can knowledge be stolen? See, there will be an allegorical nature to all these events. So, an asura called Hayagriva took the knowledge. Asura, sir? Jnananandamayam Devam, we say Hayagriva is an avatar of Vishnu. So, there is Hayagriva 1, Hayagriva 2. One Hayagriva is an asura, the other Hayagriva is an avatar. Same name both asura and the Lord can have. See, names are not bad. It is our own nature that decides the character of a person. Names are good. So, Hayagriva managed to steal this knowledge and he kept them as bubbles inside the water. That is when to retrieve this knowledge, Brahma sought the help of Paramatma and Paramatma had to take an avatar. Malati Madhavam. I don't know if you've heard of this work. Beautiful work. Malati Madhavam. In Malati Madhavam, there is one line where the hero says, he is pressing the legs of his beloved wife. He says, your feet, it is like the petals of a newly blossomed lotus, my dear. He says, this is one dialogue in that Sanskrit drama. Now this line is invoked while commenting upon one of the Pasurams in Thiruvaimozhi. Nampillai quotes this. One student asked, sir, you are talking about Paramatma and his divine attributes. Why should you quote this particular irrelevant line? Where one man is praising his wife's feet. To which the Acharya said, take that simile alone. That is, the feet are as soft as the lotus flowers. And also learn how not to appreciate mortals. See, from our Shastras, you can learn how to live and how not to live as well. So, Mahavishnu is legs are always pressed by Mahalakshmi. So, Mahavishnu keeps looking at Lakshmi. What is the greatness of Lakshmi? Padma Priya, Padma Hasta, Padma Akshim, Padma Sundarim, Padmodbhavam, Padma Mukhim, Padmanabha Priyam Ramam, Padma Gandhinim, Padminim. See, Mahalakshmi's face looks like a lotus. Her palms are as soft as the lotus. And she holds lotuses in her palms. Palms are also soft like lotus. She holds lotus also in her palms. She wears a beautiful garland of lotuses. Padmamala Dharam, Padmamala Dharam Devi, Padminim. In Samudrika Lakshana Shastram, there is one category of women who they don't have to use yardley. They will smell naturally good. So they are called Padmini, says Samudrika Lakshana Shastra Swami. So they are called Padmini. Padmini means one who smells without having to go resort to any other like Chandanam or any other deodorant. They will smell well. Padmini, Padma Gandhini. So she has got the smell of a lotus. She is Padmini herself. She has a lotus mala. Her palms are like lotus flowers. She holds lotus flowers. She sits on a lotus. So the Lord keeps looking at her. But one thing striking about Mahalakshmi is her eyes are like that of a fish. So, Madurayil paranda meen kodiyai un kangalil kandene. After listening to Bhagavatham Sapthaham, the poet wrote this song. So the eyes are like a fish. The Lord keeps looking at her. He's so inspired of Mahalakshmi that he too wanted eyes like that of a fish. But he tried with various surgeons. They said, we can't do anything. So, when these Vedas were lost by Brahma in the form of bubbles, when Vedas were lost in the form of bubbles, the Lord thought, I have to retrieve them. He was inspired of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi's eyes. He didn't have eyes like that of a fish. So the Kavi says, he became the fish. He wanted eyes like the fish. He couldn't change. He became the fish. But when he became the fish, how were the eyes of the fish? Matsya kamala lochanaha. Puranam says the eyes were like lotus. So Mahalakshmi, everything is associated with lotus. Her eyes are like fish. He is the fish with eyes of a lotus. Matsyaha kamalalochanaha nirmagna shruti jala marganadasha dattakshanayir vikshanayhi antastanvadi varavindagahanan audanvati namapam nishpratyuha taranga ringanamithaf pratyuda pataschatam dolaroha sadohalam bhagavati matsyam vapufpatunaha. So the Lord went as a fish. That fish had horns. See, the fish that we see in Bhagavatam has horns. Because the same fish will be later used to pull a boat. This has a horn. Now I used to wonder, are there horns for fish? But there is one fish called longhorn cowfish. I think the binomial nomenclature is Lactoria lomura or something. Just check that out. Longhorn cowfish that has horns. So the Lord became the fish and had to retrieve the Vedas as bubbles, and he gave it to Brahma. Brahma got back. Now, in that process, he killed Hayagriva, the Asura who had stolen wealth. You can take Hayagriva as the one who is nescience, whose absence of knowledge was replaced with knowledge. You know, the Western theology, it is believed the Lord said, let there be light. Correct? So what was there before light was there? Darkness. So darkness was replaced with the presence of light. Nescience called Ajnanam was replaced with Jnanam by Matsya Avataram. Now here is where it gets interesting. There was a king called Satyavrata by the banks of river Kritamala. What is Kritamala? Vaijayantimala's sister. Who is Kritamala? Vaigai. Vaigai in Sanskritam is called Kritamala. Remember this. If you come across Puranams, you'll be wondering, who is this Kritamala? Kritamala is Vaigai. Chandrabhaga. There is one river. Vipasa. There is one river. After Vipasha, we have Chandrabhaga, we have Lambodari. Sir, what are these rivers? Where are they? One Chandrabhaga, you may say it is in Pandharpur, but in the Puranam Chandrabhaga, Lambodari, they are all Sutlej, Ravi, Liddar. These are all the rivers in Kashmir. They are all referred to by a name. Sindhu. Sindhu is Indus. So by Kritamala, by the banks of river Kritamala, Satyavrata Raja took some waters and he noticed one small fish. He thought, let me save this fish. He could have put the waters back into Vaigai, but then he took that into his Kamandalam. By the time he turned and then looked back, the fish grew. He thought there is a lot of space constraint. So from condo, let's go to a big house. So he thought, let me shift this fish to a bigger vessel. It grew further. Then he brought that back to Vaigai. See, he could have done it at the first itself. He did this. Then the fish told in his yogic vision, from a few days, Madurai will undergo deluge. There will be floods in Madurai. So that time, to preserve the flora and the fauna, carry some specimens along with the Saptarishis in a boat, and I will direct you. Prapte twadukta hanivari dhara plupyute bhumitale munindraha saptarishibhihi sardhama paravarin uddhurnamana sharanam yayautvam. So you carry me. As usual, the floods happened, and the boat with the Saptarishis, the flora and the fauna, was attached to the horn of that fish, and it transported them for a few days in the deluge. That is when there was Upadesham of Shastras by the fish in the yogic form to the Raja. So from one Manvantaram they were moving to the other. This is very similar to another anecdote that you will hear in the Western theology. You will listen to one person, he brought one ark, and then that Noah took this. So it is very similar. And there is one series also, those of you who watch TV, this Apocalypse series, where they mention about what are all the civilizations that talk about the transfer of knowledge while the boat was moved. So there are some similarities. That is when all this Jnanam transfer happened. Now, there is something very interesting here. I told you it is a time shift. Like how we say generation gap, anda kalam, inda kalam. There is a time period, right? Similarly, we talk about change of supervisors. Supervisors are Manu. So, Swayam Bhuva Manvantaram will become Chakshusha. Chakshusha may become Vaivasvata, and so on. While this change, takeover, so one Manu is handing over the process to the other. While this happens, Brahma will also take some rest and then begin creation. That is when the essence of Bhagavatam, which is put in Narayaniyam, I am sure you would have all come across this. 8th Dashakam, 13th Shloka. What is that? Asmin paratman nanupadma kalpe tvamutthamitha bida padmayonihi. Have you heard of this shloka? Have you heard that Paramacharya of Kanchi told this to one patient who was suffering from cancer to recite this particular shloka? Have you heard of this? Now I started wondering, why did Paramacharya have to tell to recite this particular shloka? See, entire Narayaniyam is dedicated for good health. It's not that this is a new generation molecule called as gloomy pride and others are all old molecules. He could have told any shloka, but he specifically said 13th shloka, 8th dashakam. That is when I came up with one idea. I'll tell you that idea. You are free to accept or not, reject. Brahma sits on a lotus. Lotus is very unique. It is a beautiful flower. It is a nice flower. Eyes of the Lord are compared to the lotus and so on. Why? It is pankajam. It is born amidst the marshes. It is not born in a very clean place and dances with the daffodils. We don't have to do that. Lotus is born in marshes. It is pankajam. It is born in the marshes. But it is so beautiful. Similarly, the Jivatma, though it is housed in our Shariram, which is dirty. See, we may get dirty somewhere. But the dirtiness of our body will never get attached to the Jivatma. So, like how a lotus is born amidst the marshes, the Jivatma is found within the body. One. Second thing, lotus's birth, which is pure and clean amidst the marshes, signifies even amidst something which is damaged, not so clean, something which is pure and pristine can be born. We have cells in our body. There are two ways of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. There are certain areas where the cell, when it sees certain structural damages, if there is some damaged cell, there is a programmed cell death called as apoptosis. So that cells will die. if they don't die, such damaged cells get together and form tumors. They could be of two in nature. They could be malignant or benign. That is why we have the cancer, which is quite prevalent in many, many places. So cancer exists because of these cells that come together. Now, like how Brahma is born amidst the marshes, here Bhattadri requests that Brahma should beat those marshes and come on the lotus. So this shloka suggests that new cells, good cells should be born. That is why Paramacharya must have mentioned this particular shloka for that cancer patient. Asmin paratman nanu padma kalpe tvamitham utthapita padmayonihi. So like how Padmayoni came, you have to come. So that happens here. Now Brahma is formed. Now Brahma is given back that knowledge. Hayagriva is killed. Upadesham is done to Satyavrata Raja. This is that beautiful avataram called as Matsya avataram. Now there is another thing here. The Lord was inspired of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi has various names. One of the shortest, sweetest, strongest names of Lakshmi is Shri. You don't have to add anything to Shri. Shrir ityevacha namate bhagavati. Shri means Mahalakshmi. Now, Vedam has another name. Vedam is referred to as Shri. Remember this. Sahi Shrir Amrita Satam. We say Shri is Vedam. So the Lord is going in search of Vedam, which is Shri. So he was inspired of Shri and became the fish. You're able to get the connection? So this is Matsya Avataram. Now let's go to the next Charitram. Ambarisha Charitram. Ambarisha was a great king. Now Ambarisha was sincerely observing the vratam called Ekadashi. It is called Harivasaram. Shastram says you have to fast on Ekadashi days only. Monday for one deity, Tuesday for one deity, Wednesday for Rajinikanth, Thursday for Vijaykanth. You should not. See, Vedam doesn't have community Vedam. There is no Chettiyar Vedam, Ayyar Vedam, Iyengar Vedam, Gauda Vedam, Kamma Vedam, Reddy Vedam, Rao Vedam, Deshpande Vedam. There is only one Vedam. Shastras say that you have to fast on Ekadashi day. That is called as Harivasaram. On the day of Ekadashi, you have to fast. That Ekadashi fasting is recommended. At the same time, Dwadashi, which is a very, very important day, that Ekadashi fast has to be broken. That is called Parana in Sanskritam. Of course, in the Tamil language, we Tamilize that word, Paranai. That is Parana. Parana Karanam Naha, says Vedanta Deshika in Garuda Panchashat. So you have to fast from the evening of Dashami till about 8 o'clock in the morning of Dwadashi. So roughly 36-37 hours we are fasting. Twice a month, 24 times a year. This is Ekadashi fasting. So here Ambarisha was performing Ekadashi Vratam very sincerely. He was a king, he was performing Ekadashi Vratam. On one particular Ekadashi, he had done that very religiously for a year. One Ekadashi, after that Ekadashi, on the day of Dwadashi morning, Durvasa Maharshi came. Tatra thaparanadine bhavadarchanante durvasa sasya munina bhavanam prapede bhoktum vritascha nripena parartishilaha mandam jagama yamunam niyaman vidhasyan. He came. He said, Raja, I have come to your house. Raja was extremely happy. He said on Dwadashi Parana day, if a Bhagavatottama comes, it is great. I can feed you. Everything is made. More korambu is made. Agati kira is made. Shundakka is made. Then gooseberry pachadi is made. Good rice. Whatever rice you want. Whether you want brown rice, black rice, cooked rice, quinoa, whatever you say, it is all ready. So Durvasa said, okay, done, I will go take bath and come. And that day he took bath for hours together. By 8, the Vratam Parana had to get over. So now Ambarisha thought, let him come, I'll wait for him, I will not eat, but I have to finish my fast. So let me at least consume the tulasi jalam. Because in the Ekadashi Vratam, the rule says you cannot even drink your own saliva. But is that possible? See, we all have metformin combination tablets. Pioglitazone, all this. Then how can we do? So slowly our rishis were very benevolent. They said, have fruits. And we now have a variety, blueberry, raspberry, then guava, Thailand guava. Then we have papaya, watermelon, all this. And some mangoes here. In the mango, I'm at least satisfied I'm seeing some yellow in the today. So if at all by God's grace, you all get good mangoes which smell also good. In the ஊர்ல மூக்குல உட்டாலும் வாசனை வராட்டிங்க. So fruits. Then if we have only fructose, it becomes a problem. So then we use the rule of not having full rice. We can make nice idlis out of it and 2-3 chutneys to go. That is our Ekadashi feasting. Then, now this Ambarisha was a true devotee. He did the Ekadashi fasting. On the Dwadashi day, he waited for the Rishi didn't come. So now think like a movie director. So Ambarisha is consuming the waters. In this gap, you can see Durvasa. So Durvasa saw this. He got extremely agitated. You mannerless king. You have called me as a guest to your parana and you have the audacity to consume the waters while I am not there? This Pararthi Shilaha, the one who derives pleasure in giving pain to others, this Shila, this king, at that point in time, it is said that he took some hair strands from his body and then a Kritya was created. It is something related to black magic, occult. So this Kritya was supposed to be programmed and sent towards Ambarisha. But by the time the Kritya reached, Sudarshana came and gave protection to Ambarisha and started chasing Kritya. Now Kritya started chasing Durvasa. So Durvasa was chased by both Kritya and Sudarshana. Now he started going to Karya Vaikuntham, and that is when he went and told, "Oh Vishnu, your chakram is chasing me. Tell Ambarisha to control that chakram, or you control that chakram." That is when the Lord said, "Aham bhakta paradhinaha hyasvatantra iva sadhubir grasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta janapriyaha." And Durvasa, you've been under the wrong impression that my devotees are subservient to me. Not at all, not at all. I am subservient to my devotees. If my devotees say do this, I will do that. If they say keep quiet, I'll keep quiet. Aham bhakta paradhinaha. You know, there's a beautiful charitram. In the Pallava Desham, in Kanchipuram, one day the ruling monarch, the king, Pallava king, saw one beautiful lady walk by the streets. He asked, "I've never seen you before." This lady said, "See, sir, I was okay. But I was given this beautiful form with the grace of a great devotee who lives in our city called Bhaktisara." So this king said, "Even I need to get such a beautiful form." "Sir, then you can get in touch with Mr. Bhaktisara through his PA. His PA's name is Kanikannan." So immediately Pallava dialed Kanikannan and said, "Kanikannan, I believe your guru does some plastic surgery. Please ask him, give me one appointment time, I will come." Kanikannan said, "My Acharya is a yogi without the bulldozer. So he is a great yogi and he is performing penance. He is not into touching someone, turning them great. Don't expect all of this." Then the king got extremely agitated. He said, "When a king is asking as a subject, you are supposed to reply and do what I say. When you are not adhering to what I say, get out of my kingdom." Kanikandan said, as the king orders, I will get out. While leaving, Kanikandan went to his guru, Bhakti Sara. So, Bhakti Sara Swami, the king has excommunicated me. I will go out of this city. Then the teacher said, if you are going, see, you are my only student. And I call myself a teacher. If the student goes, where will I be a teacher? If the student is not there, what purpose will I serve? Even I will come join you. The moment Bhakti Sara was leaving the temple premises, the Lord who was reclining there in a serpent couch said, see, you are my devotee. If the devotee goes, what will the Swami do? Even I will join you, Mr. Bhakti Sara. So Bhakti Sara said, Kanigannan pogindran, Kamarum pungachi, Tamarekanna ni ingirukka venda, ni undan paina happaye shurutikol. Now take that Adisesha, roll it like a mat, like hold all. You know, hold all? Like hold all, you hold and come. The Lord followed Bhakti Sara followed Kanikandan. They went and stayed in one outskirt place later called as Vor Iravu Irikkai Voririkai Orikkai we call, right? Went and stayed. Then the king got bad dreams. Oh my goodness, I have sent such great people. And then he went and sought remorse. He said, sir, I have done something bad. Kanikanna, please come back. The moment Kanikanna said, okay, I will do, the teacher said, if Kanikandan is coming to Kanchipuram next to SM Stills, even I will come. I will also join. So as Kanikandan came, the teacher came. Now the Lord said, see, because of you, I shifted my residence. What will I do here in Voririkai? So that is when the Lord said, Bhakti Sara said, Kanikandan pogindran pukkurindan kamarum pungachi tamarekanna ni undan paina happai virithukul. Come back, now you sleep. So when he said, come along with me, the Lord rolled and took Adisesha in his hand. Like this, like hold all and went. When the devotee said, release it back, sleep on the serpent couch, he did. As the devotee said, the Lord performed. Yatha uktam Kari Saha Yathokta Kari. So in Tamil he is called Shonnavannam Shaida Perumal. The earlier name is to give him is Vega Setu. Mr. Vega Setu became Mr. Yathokta Kari. He listens to his devotees. So that charitram is brought here where the Lord says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. I am subservient to my devotees. Don't think my devotees are subservient to me. If they say, oh, Ram Parivar of Lemont temple, come to my heart, I will come inside their heart and bless them. I am subservient to them. That is when Durvasa realizes the mistake that he had committed, the blunder he had committed. He goes to Ambarisha and says, Ambarisha, please forgive me. Ambarisha said, see sir, I didn't want to hurt you. This Sudarshana, hey Sudarshan, come here pa. Why are you chasing Durvasji? Don't do that. And then he did one stuti. Sudarshana namastubhyam sahasrarachyuta priyaha sarvastra ghatin vipraya swasti bhuya idaspate tvam dharmastvam amrita satyastvam yajñokhila yajñabhuk tvam lokapalaha sarvatma tvam teja paurusham param. That is where as prayer Sudarshana left that place. This place where this incident is said to have occurred, especially where Ambarisha was blessed with Sudarshana, as per the Sthala Puranam, is to the north of Guruvayur in a place called as Tiruvittuvakodu. Today the Kerala Astikas call it Trimittakkodu. But Alvar says, Taruturuyaram Tadayel Uncharanallal Charanillai Adishinatal Indratai Ahatridinum Mattaval Tan Narulninayade Vittuvakkotamman Ara Vunadarule Parpanadiyene. It's a beautiful kshetram where the Lord showcased a gunam called Sharanya Mukundatvam, says an Acharya called Adigamanavala Perumal Nayanar. This is the second charitram. Third charitram I will go. With that we would have successfully completed 9 skandams, and then I will go to Krishna Jananam again. This third charitram is something that comes later, but I am preponing that. I have to rearrange my topics so that I can present it. We have got the 6th day tomorrow, 7th day the day after. So there was a great devotee called Markandeya. Markandeya, with the blessings of Mahadeva, Rudramurti, had a very intelligent son. He was called Markandeya. Markandeya grew up in a small hamlet near Mayiladurai or Mayavaram. Today it is called Tirukadayur. There Lord Shiva blesses his devotees in the form of Amrita Ghateshwara. Parvati is super famous. Abhirami. So Abhirami is there in Tirukadayur. ஆத்தாளை எங்கள் அபிராம வல்லியை அண்டமெல்லாம் பூத்தாளை மாதுளம்பூ நிறத்தாளை புவியடங்க காத்தாளை ஐங்கரை பாசாங்குஷமும் கரும்பும் வில்லும் சேர்த்தாளை முக்கண்ணியை தொழுவோர்க்கு ஒரு தீங்கில்லை. கரெக்டா? So this kshetram, Markandeya was there. But Markandeya's birth had one small caveat with it. That was, either you choose to have a son who will live very long but who will be okay, or have a son who will do a lot of AP courses, and so that the courses come down when they go to great universities. He chose the latter. So the boy was extremely intelligent, prodigial in nature, but he had a very short lifespan. While he was once meditating upon Amrita Ghateshwara, and he was so attached to Shiva that he was embracing the Linga Swarupam, Yamadharmaraja came, because in his accounts it was said that that particular day is the time of death to be recorded for Markandeya. So he carries one rope called as Pasham, the noose. So the Pasham will be put and he will pull. This is our belief for Yamadharmaraja. That is why the students of Dikshitar, while the Atma of Dikshitar was leaving, said, Meenalochani Pashamochani Manini Kadambavana Vasini Meenakshi Me Mudam Dehi Me Chakangi. So, Pasham. By mistake, this Pasham fell on Markandeya and the Lingam. So while Yama pulled, Lord Shiva came and he said, how dare you trouble my devotee? Sir, as per the rule given to me, I have to come and take him. Why do you get angry? Lord Shiva said, Kala Samhara Murti. Only if he completes 16 and enters the 70th age, you are ordained to come, right? Let him now remain 16 forever. Let him sing Sindura Puve. So, now this Markandeya started living perennially. He didn't die for a very long time. Now there is a problem. We all think that death is a big enemy and we have to keep living forever. It will be a big pain. Imagine in a house somebody has been living perennially. Yarna ivar therilenna ingo 7 janmathukku munnadi எங்க யாரோ ஒருத்தரோட மாமனார் போல இருக்கு, இன்னும் இருந்துட்டே இருக்கு. We won't even know how to call that person. Imagine 7 janmas before somebody's mamanar has been living. It will become such a burden. See, when my grandmother was bedridden, people used to come and visit her. So I opened the door. Somebody brought nice, I don't know whether you get those oranges. You get this kara karava peri. What is that? Kara kara. What orange? Kara karava. So mandarin, tangerine, all you get. In India we get it is called musambi. You get that musambi here? No, musambi vardilla. You are all against musambis. That is the oppressor community. So musambi will fight very soon. Now they brought musambis to my home. I opened the door. They gave musambis. Party ka illa ungalku paathukra ungalku musambi theva. Because if somebody is bedridden, people who take care of them have to equally work. So imagine somebody has been perennially living. So Markandeya felt it is not worthwhile living for so long. Now he wanted moksha. He wanted the Jivatma to leave this body forever and no janma. He went back to Mahadeva. Mahadeva said, see, this is a different department. You know, in government offices in those days, if you take a file, illilla sir, you BBMP ge hogbeku, yav nam kade barta idira neevu. So then he said, moksham ichet janardanath. Yeshwaraha jnanam anvichet. I am Dakshinamurti, I'll give you knowledge. But moksham ichet Janardanath. Go to Janardana's department. So he started worshipping Narayana. He came to a place which was infested with tulasi plants. One day he spotted a little girl baby that was abandoned. This girl she overall looked very prosperous, like Sri Devi. And this child, even at a young age, showcased patience like Bhuma Devi. Like Bhu, she showcased patience. Like Ma, she showcased prosperity. She was called Bhuma. So Bhuma was brought up as his very own daughter. This girl used to help the father Markandeya, who was always in penance. So she used to assist the father. At a very young age, she had to start cooking. One day, one old man reached their house. He said, Markandeya ji, I am looking for a girl. Oh, for marriage? Yes. For your grandson? No, for me. Sir, you are 1 foot on the grave. Where will you die? You may die where you are looking for this girl. He didn't want to get into an altercation with this old man, because if he pronounces a curse, that will fructify. So he said, why have you come? I heard that there is one girl in your house, sir. He said, okay, I will call my girl. If she says okay, we'll check. The girl came. Bhuma, look at this tata. Bhuma said, he looks so handsome with bell-bottoms pant and curly hair and Induleka oil. So that is when the father was confused. My girl doesn't have good taste at all. He's looking at this old man and telling. Then he tried to, demotivate that old man. She doesn't even know cooking. She doesn't know in what proportion salt should be added. The old man said, even my doctor has advised me, don't add salt. Who are you, man? Whatever I tell you, are trying to give me a reply. That is when the Lord said, I am Vuppu illa appan, matchless, saltless appan, called Vuppili appan. And then he got his dear daughter married to the Lord. Now, then he went to Sarakshetram, Tricherai, and asked Lord for moksham. The Lord said, whenever the right time comes, when your Jivatma leaves your body, you will get moksham. Till then, how could he spend time? So from Tamil Nadu, directly he went to Uttarakhand. By the foothills of Naranarayana Parvatam, he started doing tapas. One day, while the Lord appeared and asked, what do you want? Markandeya said, see, people keep talking about Srishti and Pralayam. When there is deluge, dissolution, I want to see how Pralayam occurs. That is when the Lord said, sure Markandeya, close your eyes now. He closed. Open your eyes. When he opened, the two huge hills of Naranarayana Parvatam started colliding with each other. Rocks started rolling down the slopes of the hills. The trees were uprooted. The rivers Alakananda, Bhagirathi started swelling. There was absolutely no demarcation between livable and non-livable land. It all looked like an ocean of deluge. Everything started floating. The TV and the washing machine which was given in the last election also started floating. Everything floated. Markandeya, in a Phelps, Michael Phelps, he's like Vedant Madhavan, he started swimming. Now, as he started swimming, there was absolutely no trace of livability anywhere. Nobody living he could see. But at a distance, he saw some blue color mustard-like thing rolling. He started going towards it, found it was a beautiful leaf, Vatadalam. And on it was just a little boy, very cute. He asked, Arey, bachcha, ye kiska bachcha hai? Who are you, my dear child? Where are your parents? The boy took his foot and started sucking his toe. Narayana Tirtha, the composer of Krishna Leela Tarangini, asks a question. Why should the Lord suck his toe? Isn't it not? It is not very hygienic, right? Why should the Lord do? To which Narayana Tirtha says, it seems every devotee who goes in the presence of the Lord says, oh my Lord, you're so sweet. Your feet are like the shondesh. They are like the gude roshugulla. They are like the chonopesh. They are like the chompakili. They are like putarekulu. Telugu varu unnara ikkada? Putarekulu telisa? Machilipatnam nunchi oka sweet. Putarekulu. That is gateway to heaven. That sweet. Kakinada kaja. Bandar laddu telisa? Then you taste like the Mysore pak of Lemont temple. Chakkayan Adapradaman of Kerala. You look like the Adirasam. Manoharam, Manoharam Maruta Tulya Vegam. You Mano Javam Achesar. Now let's call it Manoharam. You look like Puran Poli. Peda, Peta. So every devotee who goes to the Lord says, you're so sweet. Now the Lord wondered, is my food so sweet? And he wanted to suck that and check if it tastes so sweet. Says Narayana Tirtha. Svanubhavam kurvan. He wanted to taste. But by this act, he was trying to create a circle. So when the toe goes inside your mouth, you create a circle, right? It's cyclic. So what goes around comes around. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. If I am showing this philosophy, I am the one who runs this wheel of philosophy. He wanted to say, but Markandeya didn't understand. Oh my boy, why are you sucking your toe? I am not able to showcase. Who are you? Now somebody asked, did you see the Lord sucking the toe? They asked me. I said, I didn't. But how are you saying so confidently? I said, TSR, Gokul sent also. Kararavindena padaravindam mukharavinde viniveshayantam vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balamukundam manasa smarami. The Lord then showcased Mahalakshmi in his heart. Then he understood, oh, this is our Sriman Narayan ji. Krishna, Narayana, what have you done? By the time he could ask the next question, like a vacuum cleaner that pulls, the Lord pulled Markandeya into his mouth. Now go do a VFX of all of this. Markandeya goes into that mouth, and as he slides through the esophagus, he has to reach the stomach. Now, what should he have ideally seen? The bile should be flowing from the liver, some insulin from the islets of Langerhans, a gallbladder without the stones, and then the small and the large intestine. This is what he should have seen. But Markandeya didn't see this in that Kukshi. What he saw was a Naranarayana Parvatam, Alakananda river flowing, a beautiful ashramam. Outside the ashramam, Markandeya is meditating, and Markandeya was seeing himself there. So the Lord was trying to say, what is beyond your radar or realm of understanding, don't try to get inquisitive about that. See, generally, if we get into Shastram, Upanishad says one thing very clearly. Who is the one who has known a lot about Paramatma? It says, the one who says, I don't know anything, knows everything, it seems. And the person who says, I know everything, knows nothing, it seems. Avijñātam vijānatam. So here, Markandeya is confused because he's seeing his own. Just imagine you're seeing your own self somewhere. So he said, what am I doing? Hey Krishna, I won't even ask this question anymore. Please save me. He closed his eyes. He was back outside that ashram. See, they take all these curious case of Benjamin Button, Inception, all time traveler in the prisoner of Azkaban. All this has root in this Vatapatrashai Upakhyanam, it is called. So here the Lord tried to say that all these cosmic processes are carried out seamlessly by me. If you wish to relish my qualities, do it as a devotee, don't do it like an intellectual. You may do your research in the laboratory in the university. Whichever university you want to go, you do. But beyond your realm of understanding is my cosmic function. So this is Vatapatrashai Varnanam. Now, this completes close to 9,000 to 9,500 shlokas of the first 9 skandams of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we are going to go to the Dashamaskandam, in which I had already spoken about the circumstances that led to the Lord promising Bhuma Devi, who came in the form of a very good cow. Gaur Bhutva Ashrumuki Khinna. So she came in the form of a cow, and the Lord said, I shall be born soon. As the Lord was born in that beautiful Krishnashtami, when Rohini was there. Now, there is a beautiful description to this Rohini. Why the Lord chose Rohini? See, we believe that moon, Somadeva, is married to the stars. We have those 27 stars like Anuradha, Pushya, Punarvasu. These are all the stars. See, the beauty is, to every man, his wife is a star. Nobody is even acknowledging, So to every man, the wife is a star. But to the moon, the stars were his wife. So all these stars were married. Now, Daksha, the father of these stars, noticed that Soma, who is Chandradeva, was showing special attention only on Rohini. So if you look at page 3 part T, they'll say, Soma was spotted with Rohini in a beautiful ikat. There'll be one photo. So other wives felt very bad. So in order to convince Swati is one nakshatram. Anybody of Swati nakshatram here? One? Any other Swati? Nobody? Anybody in your family is Swati? I'll tell you the greatness of Swati nakshatram. I'll make mommy happy. Now, on Swati nakshatram, it is believed in our Panchangam that you don't even have to check the kalam. Amrita Yogam or Siddha Yogam will be there. Marana Yogam will never be there on Swati nakshatram. It's the greatness of Swati nakshatram. So, on the day of Swati, it is believed, again I'm telling you in our literature, that the pearls are born from the oysters when the moon's rays falls on the night of Swati Nakshatra. Pearls are born only on the day of Swati Nakshatra. So what Swati did was, she went to Narayana pearls. She put all these pearls in different, there is a way of even designing pearls. See, that way I'll tell you, each country has its own greatness. But as a civilization, the Vedic civilization is great because we have no pabandhi. Music, if you want to reach Paramatma through music, there is something called Nadopasana. If you want to reach Paramatma through dance, there is Nrityopasana. Through Nrityam, Natya Shastram, you can reach Almighty. Through music, you can reach Almighty. Through Bhakti Yoga, you can reach Almighty. There is no, if you sing, immediately there is a big crime. If you dance, it is a crime. No, you do whatever you want, ultimately you will reach Paramatma. Whoever you are, whichever geography you are in. That said, we have a huge history to the textiles as well. That is why I keep talking about textiles, because we all think textiles is new. Maybe the quality may be different in the US. But when you look at the texture, if you go to Rani Ki Vav, have you heard of Rani Ki Vav? Very good. So if you get that 100 rupee note in India, you'll see that Rani Ki Vav is a UNESCO site of the 11th century, constructed by the Rani Udayamati as a gift for her king who was returning, called as Bhima the First. For her husband she constructed. It's a beautiful stepwell, grand stepwell. Along the walls of the Rani Ki Vav, you will see patterns. Those patterns have become patola prints. If you go to Gujarat, the textiles are inspired from architecture. There is a beautiful 16th century temple in the south of Andhra called Lepakshi. If you go to the pillars of Lepakshi, you will find Hamsa Mudras within circle. It is called Lepakshi motif, which has got the GI tag. So you will get that in your prints. So all our textiles is also inspired from architecture. See, that is a separate subject. You have to explain how beautifully architecture and textiles and cuisine, how they all go together. So coming back to this pearls, Vedanta Deshika gave a beautiful work on philosophy. He submitted to Lord Ranganatha and he called this work Tattva Mukta Kalapam. Kalapam means chain, addigai. Mukta Kalapam, pearl addigai. But this pearls, if you wear a single string, it may not go that well as long as the pearls are huge. I'll take a separate session for that. I give lessons on architecture and textiles. Let's do that next time. So when you have smaller pearls, then you need various levels in that pearls. But remember, the first string's number of pearls should be lesser than the second string. Then only you can see the strings distinctly. So Vedanta Deshika, while giving this work on Tattva Mukta Kalapam, he distributes into chapter. The first chapter will have lesser shlokas than the second. The second will have lesser than the third. It's called Tattva Mukta Kalapam. So Swati started wearing the pearls that were gifted to her because the pearls were believed to have been born on the day when she and Chandra got together. But Rohini said, you're taking me to page 3 parties, but nothing is born when we get together. So Chandra said, wait, on Krishnashtami, when you are the star, a blue sapphire will be born, which has no parallel. That is why Krishna was born on that day. So the shlokam goes, Swati sapatni kilatarakana mukta phalanam janani tiroshat sarohini neelam asuta ratnam kritaspadam gopa vadhu kucheshu. Sarohini neelam asuta ratnam. She gave birth to a blue sapphire. See, if there is a sapphire stone and you cut it in the middle, if you see the middle part where it's cut, it will be glistening, that stone. You can think something like the opal stone, the tanzanite and the sapphires of Sri Lanka, the rubies of Myanmar, something like that. It will be glistening and the blue rays that come out of it will look splendid and exquisite. The Lord's hue will also resemble that. Indra Neelamani Sannipapa Ghana Chandra Surya Nayana Prameya Vagindra Janaka Sakalesha Shubhra Nagendra Shayana Shamana Vairi Sannuta Jagga Indra Neelamani 1. Kalinguni talala paina gappina pushya ragamu Eleti Shri Venkatadri Indra Neelamu Sarohini Neelamasuta Ratnam. So the Lord was born in Rohini Nakshatram. See, in Krishna Avataram, the greatness of Krishna Avataram, I've told you. One more greatness I'll tell you. If Krishna sneezes, 10 shlokas will be written. Krishna burps, 10 shlokas. Krishna, come and take bath, 11 pasurams. Krishna, should I give you butter, 12 pasurams. Krishna, sleep, 13 pasurams. No other avataram has got this much of importance. Yes, Rama avataram is great. Ramayanam is Shastram. But we don't spend so much. There are 1 or 2 compositions. Tumak chalat Ramachandra Pajat Pejaniya Tumak. Rama Nadandathukku. Even when Rama walks, we go only to the age of 12. Hejarika Garara He Ramachandra. All Rama's composition are 12 plus. Whereas Krishna, in the 0 to 1, you will have 1 lakh compositions. That 1 year. The impossible 2, you will get another 2 lakh compositions. That is Krishna Avataram. Now, after this birth of Krishna, Krishna has told Vasudeva, the moment I am born, you have to take me to Gokulam and bring the girl child from there. Now, Vasudeva could have asked, right, that is wrong. I wouldn't want to do something like that. How can I do it without the consent of the other mother? He could have asked, we would have asked. That is why we were not there in Bhagavatam. So do what I say. So that is why he followed. Who is that who has commanded? The one who will be born there is Yogamaya, Vaishnavi. Gaccha Devi Vrajam Bhadre Gopa Gobhiralankritam Rohini Vasudevasya Bharyaste Nanda Gokule Anyascha Kamsa Vigna Vivareshu Vasantihi Devakya Jatare Garbham Sheshakyam Dhama Mamakam. Then Yogamaya was said, since you will be assisting during my birth, Yogamaya, from now on, every city, every village in its corner will always celebrate you. Durgeti Bhadrakaliti Vijaya Vaishnaviti cha Kumuda Chandika Krishna Madhavi Kanyaketi cha Maya Narayani Shani Sharadetyambiketi cha. They will be celebrating you as Devi. That said, the Lord was born. I spoke about that yesterday. Around 8:50 we had, you all showed that phone. Tamadbhutam. Now the Lord was born. Dark night. There was no source of light to come in. I don't know how many of you have visited a fort called Golconda Fort near Bhagyanagaram, Hyderabad. There, Bhadrachala Ramadas was imprisoned by Tana Shah. That is why Bhadrachala Ramadas was tormented, troubled. At one point in time, he lost hope. He said, Rama, in Bhadrachalam, you are sporting a beautiful necklace, high making charge, beautiful green padakam. Who gave that to you? Your father-in-law? I gave. Nimama Ajanaka Maharaju Pampena Ramachandra. You are acting as if your father-in-law has given. Nothing from Nepal has come. All I gave, and you are not helping me. Then he realized there is no use with the mama of this house. I will go to the mommy. Nanu brovamani chappave Sitam Matalli. Nanu brovamani chappave. You intervene. Then Sita said, Ramji, jaiye. Then Rama got him out of the prison. This happened for Kancharala Goppanna, called as Bhadrachala Ramadasu Swami. Tyagaraja invokes that. Nari mani ki jirali chinadi nade vinanura rama dhirudau ramadasuni bandhamudi chinadi vinanura rama Taraka Nama. That Taraka Nama you released. So that jail, if you go to Golconda, you will see how for 12 plus years, no window. There will be one small opening that will close, they will put that foot and go. That jail was like that. No source of light. And the boy who's born also, I said, collyrium color, anjanam color. So darkness everywhere, boy is also dark, and generally a child has to born, it has to cry. This child is not crying. So first of all, Devaki was doubtful. Has it been delivered? Because Vasudeva is doing the delivery there. So at that point in time, Vasudeva checked and said, I think he's born, I've cut the umbilical cord, but where are you, Krishna? My dear child, where are you? That is when he got to recognize the child from the whiteness of the 32 teeth in the boy's mouth. Dvija Chandra Chandrika Mekshata. What is this? क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? कोई पीडियाट्रिशियन से जाके पूछिए, कोई पैदा हुआ बच्चा को ऐसा दंत होएगा क्या? That is why he said Adbhutam Balakam. Our house Pichumani won't have it. Krishna will have 32 teeth. Tam Adbhutam Balakam. Sir, but even for the whiteness that has to emanate from the 2 rows of teeth, light has to fall on it. Physics lamp repair. Chandra Surya Nayana Prameya Vagindra Janaka Sakalesha Shubhra. The eyes of the Lord are akin to the sun and the moon. Kadir Madiyam Pol Mugattan Tingalum Adittanum Elundar Pol. Tam adbhutam balakam. The father saw an extraordinary child. Adbhutam balakam. In Sanskritam, you always use the suffix ka. Alparthe kaf pratyayaha. You use the suffix ka to denote if the boy who is born is smaller than what you have taught him to be. Balam, small. Balakam, very small. Alparthe kaf pratyayaha. But there is another beautiful description which my Acharya used to give. Ka with the two dots is kaha in Sanskritam. Kaha means Brahma. In Sanskritam, kaha means Brahma. Balaha kaha yasya sa balakaha. The one, while he was born, made even Brahma was also born along with him. So imagine, Adbhutam Balakam, Krishna was only this much. This thought. But in Bharata Desham, this has another meaning. So the Lord was born, Adbhutam Balakam. He has got two hands behind. In this, there are two hands. In those hands, there is a small chakram and small shankam. Matchstick size one gada, one small lotus. He has got one kratam, one addigai. Addigai and all will look one small thread. Thin hip. He was born with all the ornaments. Okay. And imagine from that small boy, small nabhi, one lotus is coming. And in that lotus is seated Brahma. Brahma is like a bumblebee seated on it. So Balaha kaha yasya saha balakaha. The Balaha, the boy who gave rise to Brahma while he was born is Balakaha. Thereby Devaki is the only one in this world who became a grandmother while she became a mother. Tamadbhutam balakam. Ambuja ikshanam. The eyes of the Lord were as if the petals of a lotus were taken and attached onto his face. Beautiful eyes. Adbhutam balakam ambuja ikshanam. Chaturbhujam. 4 hands. Why? Dharma artha kama moksham. Dharmarthi prapnuyat dharmam. Artharthi cha artham apnuyat. Kamana vapnuyat kami prajarthi cha apnuyat prajam. Whatever you want. You want your stock value to increase, I will do. Whether you want good dampatyam, I will help you. Whether you want good children, because children anybody will get. Good should be added before that, right? Good children, responsible children, I will help you. I will bless you. Do you want moksham? Because some children will help get moksham. Yo idikku tavirayan po indiralogamalum ayyo idoda irukradhukku vaigunname poidrene. So you don't even have to ask God. Children will lead you to moksham. Dharmarthi prapnuyat dharmam. Artharthi cha arthamapnuyat kamanavapnuyat kami. He has got 4 hands. Tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. Chaturbhujam shankhagadaryudharyudam. Srivatsavakshmam. In that small body, in that small chest, Devaki said, Vasudevji, idhar aaye. Kuch hai is balak ke chest mein, dekhiye na. It was Srivatsam. The mole of the Lord is called Srivatsam. On that was seated Mahalakshmi. Ye kaun hai ye ladki? Aapki bahu hai. So she became a grandmother while she became a mother. She became a mother-in-law while she became a mother. 2 problems, ore color, rendu manga. She has got a daughter-in-law and grandson. See? Tamadbhutam balakam. That is that adbhutam. Who in this world will be born like this? 32 teeth, 4 hands, ayudham, a grandson, daughter-in-law. Tamadbhutam balakam ambujekshanam chaturbhujam shankhagadaryudharyudam srivatsalakshmam. That Mahalakshmi says, I need something to dress myself up. I need to put a lot of makeup. So where will I go? So immediately the Lord said, the only way to engage her is to give her one mirror. See, while I used to work in Vikhroli in Bombay, we were 500 people on the same floor. 500 on the same floor. Likewise, there were about 7-8 floors. Then there'll be only one canteen. And 2 lifts. That elevator can carry only 8 people. If I go as the 6th itself, it will start making that noise. Queen, queen, queen. Ellaru nammala papa. konja weight jaasti ho. Then I have to, it's a very embarrassing situation when you become the 6th or the 8th person in an elevator. There used to be only 2 elevators, 500 people. There used to be so much pandemonium in that place. With the commotion that arose from that place, the in charge came and he said, "Itna sound hai." Then immediately people said, "Sir, we can't do anything. You buy another elevator. Another elevator in Indian money will cost 12 lakhs. He was my Astika friend from Gujarat. He won't buy the elevator. What he did, for 500 rupees, he bought one mirror and placed it between the 2 elevators. There was no noise. Everybody. How is this yellow? Kanakavalli yellow. This yellow, that yellow. We all. So Mahalakshmi too needed that mirror. Srivatsalakshmam Galashobhi Kaustubham. He immediately had a mirror there. Pitambaram. You're all wearing Pitambaram. I'm the only one who's not following Krishna. Pitambaram. Yellow color. Beautiful yellow. Pitambaram Sandhrapayodi Saubhagam Maharha Vaidurya Kirita Kundalatvisha. He was born with all jewelry. Sahastra Kuntalam Uddhama Kanchi Uddiyana Mekala Gadakankana Adibhir Virochamanam. Vasudeva and Devaki thought this is some 5D movie. Will any child be born like this? They have never heard, they will never heard. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. 4 hands, daughter-in-law, grandson, all abharanams, 32 teeth, glistening, smiling, talking. That is when Devaki said, Upasamharate Brahman. I can't see this alaukika swarupa, my dear child. If my brother recognizes you, he'll come and kill you. Please take those 2 extra hands away. Take those 32 teeth away. My brother will come and kill you, Krishna. Immediately the Lord took all his teeth and put them down. He hid those 2 hands, took away all that jewelry and became a normal child. Rama was asked to go to the forest. We say, Pitruvakya Paripalana Ram. At the age of 24, his father said, go to the forest, we celebrate Rama. The moment he was born, Krishna listened to his mother. Is Matruvakya Paripalanam greater or Pitruvakya Paripalanam? 0 years or 24 years? Sir, you are trying to demean Ram. We can't take it. हम राम भक्त हैं, जय श्री राम बोलते हैं. आप कैसे कर सकते हैं? You next time you give me Ramayanam topic, that time let's attack Krishna. For now, so this boy was born now. He had to follow Yogamaya's advice. Now where will he keep? Every day they used to get that porridge in one basket. Have you heard of Shivaji? Chhatrapati Shivaji. You heard? The Shivaji na ellarum yarma. Our Chhatrapati Shivaji. Chhatrapati Shivaji was imprisoned by Aurangzeb. At one point in time, he escaped from the jail. He sat in a fruit basket and escaped. Why? In his childhood, his mother used to take him to Bhagavatham Sapthaham. Now the same basket, Devaki is going to put Krishna inside. That is how Shivaji must have got. From what do we understand? Even Marathi Astikas should listen to Bhagavatam Sapthaham. So here the basket was taken, that little boy was placed, and that basket with the child was handed over to Vasudeva by Devaki. See, look at her state. 6 children she lost. 7th was a miscarriage. The 8th one, she couldn't even feed the child with colostrum, the first mother's milk. She gave the child to Vasudeva. That is when there were fetters in the hands of Vasudeva. The moment Krishna was given like a lotus flower, those fetters were unfettered and they fell to the ground. Vedanta Deshika asks, what is surprising, Dushyanth? What is surprising? The boy who is born to take us rid of our karma shackles, how long will it take for the child to get rid of these iron shackles? Charamatascharunaadiva devaki patiramuchyata shrinkhalataha sthirat nikila bandhani vartaka kamsa nidhau vilagnam vinigalasya kim adbhutam. So, that is when Devaki started crying. She said, how can I see the separation of my son? But Vasudeva said, for our child's safety, we have to do it, Devaki. And that child was given, Vasudeva carried, and as he carried, so all this is like automatic door we talk about now, right? The doors of jail opened like that. All the soldiers were sleeping. So as he went out of the Mathura jail, it was pouring outside. He was worried, it's a newborn child. If the waters fall on the child, won't it affect the child? Will the child survive such a natural calamity that is standing in front of my eyes? He wondered. As he took the child outside in a basket, not a single drop fell on him. Vasudeva wondered, how could this happen? Something is protecting me. He turned up. The 1,000-hooded Adisesha was the umbrella. Imagine this scene. One cobra itself will get petrified. Vasudeva didn't open his mouth. He put his head down. Without any reaction, he has to keep going. Now Adisesha was wondering, shouldn't every drop that is out of the precipitation from the clouds come on my hood? Not one drop fell on him. Adiseshas, each of the hoods spoke to each other. Kya ho raha hai? And all the hoods turned up. Shrutimayo iti pannagaha. Garuda was flying at the top. Because Adisesha is doing Bhagavat Kainkaryam, service to the Lord. Garuda is doing Bhagavata Kainkaryam, service to the devotee of the Lord. So as Vasudeva was carrying Vasudeva Krishna on his head, I generally say, this is Bhagavatam sandwich. Because at the top is Garuda, bottom most is Bhuma Devi. Below Adisesha, Garuda is Adisesha, above Bhuma Devi is Vasudeva. In between all of this central portion is Krishna, is Purnam. Because you make that coriander chutney, right? Purnam. Who is the Lord? Vedam says Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat. Even if you take a little out of the whole remains a whole. So this is a beautiful Bhagavatam sandwich, no calories. You don't have to worry how many calories are there, whether it will have protein, should I have whey protein and keep shaking that bottle. You get everything here. Shrutimayo vihagah parita prabhum vyacharadashu vidhuta nishacharaha anujagamaja bhudara pannagas phutamana manideepa ganodvaha. As he reached the banks of river Yamuna, Yamuna was overflowing, swelling. But he had to reach Gokulam, he had to cross the Yamuna river. So as he got into the waters started rising the level and it reached Vasudeva's neck. He was just holding this basket above with that little child. Then as the waves lashed, Yamuna managed to touch the feet of Krishna. She felt, Dhanyosmi, this is my Janma Saphalyam. And as she touched the feet of Krishna and her quest and thirst for spiritual connection was satiated, that very minute something went against physics. Physics, simple rule, water flows from higher level to lower level. But here there was a clear demarcation in the waters of Yamuna. The waters of Yamuna were going back towards the Kalinda Parvatam. Sir, this is against physics. Agreed. That's why I said Krishna Avataram is beyond logic. You cannot use any logic here. The water started going. Here I'll tell you one thing. In Ramayanam, there is a beautiful place where Hanuman comes and burns the entire country of Lanka. And after Hanuman goes away, there is a huge board meeting. Ravana says, summon Kumbhakarna, summon all the directors, part-time directors, non-executive and executive directors, all of them came. It is a very dire situation in Lanka. Even then, It is a dire situation in Lanka. One monkey has come and burnt the entire country. We may have to go to IMF. What should we do now? Asked Ravana. Kumbhakarna was a very sane brother. He said, you are asking this question what we should do now. You should have asked this question before kidnapping Sita. You took a unilateral decision of kidnapping somebody else's wife. You have caused this calamity to our country, and after all the collateral damage that some nameless monkey has caused, now you are asking what to do. That is when Kumbhakarna says, even you have time now, Ravana. Go give Sita back to Rama. We can still have some agreement signed between India and Sri Lanka. We will hold one press conference. We can mend our relations. But give her back. That I can't do. See, Ravana was very egoistic. He said, that will be like very bad. I can't do that. That very minute, Kumbhakarna says something in Ramayana. Go check this in Ramayana. He says, Ravana, you will never be able to win a war against Rama. Kumbhakarna says this. Like how the waters of Yamuna which have come from the mountain Kalinda can never go back to the mountain. If waters have come from the mountain down, it can never go back to the mountain. Like that, even never you can win the war. You cannot win the war against Rama turned true. But the second part that he said became untrue, because in Krishna Avataram the water started going back to Kalinda Parvatam. And then he was taken to the next village. See, that was a very unique night. Everyone slept. You know, in the City's Night piece by Oliver Goldsmith, if I'm right. Oliver Goldsmith says how the night in London used to look. So he says the clock rises in the west, and in the tapering west, and the man has sunk in the socket, and everybody sleeps but the man in despair. It's a beautiful poem. If you can read that poem, it's called The City's Night piece. He describes how everyone slept in London. It's a colonial piece from the literature. So Oliver Goldsmith says this. Similarly, everybody was sleeping except Devaki, Vasudeva, Krishna and Kamsa. Kamsa couldn't sleep. From the day he was told he will die, that is why we are all lucky. We don't know when we will die. See, like Parikshit, had we known, would you think I'll be sitting here? I'll be, I won't even tear. So, Kamsa did not sleep. It was a unique night. In any language, let's not take it only in the Tamil language, in any language, the word one has two meanings. One means the number one. How many chapatis you'll have? One. Who has made the chapati? The one whom I'm always talking about. That the one, which is an indefinite article, definite article, becomes the unique one. You keep talking about some person and that person comes, I was talking about the person, right? He is the one. There, that one actually doesn't mean number. It means the attributes which are seeking substratum in him. We all do that health checkup. There will be lipid profile. In cholesterol, like Yajurvedam, good Krishna Yajurvedam, Shukla Yajurvedam, cholesterol also has two. Good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. That lipid profile, urine culture, CBC, HbA1c. I should not see that for another 2 months for all the sweets that I've been eating. HbA1c, neutrophils, basophils, all those tests will come. So when we take that report to a doctor. So the doctor will he'll have that pen. I don't know how they see here. Yeah, pretty good. Everything looks good. Then he will circle 1 or 2. That will be our attention, sir. Fine. But these readings, yeah, they look a bit. This happens 1 in 1,00,000. You are that one. We'll feel very unique, right? The nulli-secondus that we are. There were many women who could have mothered the Lord. But Devaki was the unique one. There were many women who could have nourished the Lord. Yashoda was the unique one. So Andal says, Oruthi maganai pirandu Oriravil Oruthi maganai olirthu Valara Tarikilanagi Tantingu Ninainda Karuthai Pizaippithu Kanjan Vaitrinil Nerupena Nindra Nedumale. Now, in any language, when we describe two of the same category, Sajatiya Vastu, it is grammar, simple grammar. When you introduce two of your children to your guest, this is the one, that's the other one. You say the one and the other one. You don't say this is the one, this is the one. You say one and the other one. So when you have two objects, in Tamil, Kannadadalli heಳುವಾಗ ಇವರೊಬ್ಬರು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಇದಾರಲ್ವಾ ಅವರಿವರು. So this is how you will say. இவர் ஒருவர், அவர் மற்றொருவர். ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து மற்றொருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளிர்த்து. Andal should have been grammatically correct by saying ஒருத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து மற்றொருத்தி மகனாய் ஒளிர்த்து. Born to one and raised by the other. Why didn't she use? If you tell that to our Tamil Nadu people, that is why they'll say, that is why we fought against Andal, sir. All half-baked knowledge will say. But Andal did not make a mistake there. Only when Krishna had the opportunity to stay with Devaki for about a month, and then he had shifted, Oruthi maganai pirandu pirandu pirandu, 1 month. Slowly he's going, Matru oruthi maganai. She could have said, Oruthi maganai, Oruthi maganai olirthu. By the time he was born, yes, he shifted there. So Krishna did not give her ample time to use the word matru, it seems. The transfer was so quick that Andal wanted to, but there was no time. Oruthi maganai, Oruthi maganai olirthu. So he went. The moment Vasudeva reaches Gokulam in the middle of the night, it is pouring. What will you need? GPS. See, you are going to a new place, it is pouring, no source of light. Something should tell you go straight, take right. Right? Are you in 401, 405? Are you in the freeway? You are coming this way. Is there traffic? All this somebody has to say. How did Vasudeva know the directions? Vedanta Deshika answers this question. He says towards the end of every street, there will be a deity who is believed to protect that street. He is called as the village deity. There are various names. Karuppannasamy, Ayyanar, Shasta. If you have seen those images, they will have huge mustaches. With a sword, they will be standing, those statues. When Krishna was born, he was born with 4 hands. When Krishna was born, the fetters unfettered. When Krishna was born, the doors opened. When Krishna was born, the river waters went back to the source. This also can happen, says Deshika. What? Those swords which were the village deities were holding turned like this, it seems. So they became the direction boards. So each of the village. So this is all the creativity of the poet. Then he finally reaches the house of Yashoda. Doors open. You may be wondering if there is security system. Will he know the password? You don't have to worry. Doors automatically open. He went and saw Yashoda. Next to Yashoda was a beautiful girl. But he was commanded to swap the children. So he kept the boy there, took the girl child there, because when Krishna was born, note this very carefully. When Krishna was born, it was the last few minutes of the Ashtami Tithi. The moment Krishna was born, in a few minutes, Navami Tithi was born. So in Navami Tithi, this girl was born to Yashoda. And this is the girl who goes to Mathura in place of Krishna to protect that boy. The one who protects the boy is his sister. There is a bhavana, because sisters generally, whether they are elder, younger, they protect the brother. So that brother is generally weak, sister is strong. The one who stands strong is called as a fortress. Fortress, Kottai in Sanskritam is called Durga. So since she protected her brother, she is called Durga. How did she protect? Through sheer love. Like how Lily Potter gave her love. That is why the curse rebounded, right? So here Durga is protecting her brother through love. It is a new kind of fortress. New or contemporary is Nava. So she is called Nava Durga. Nava Durga Mahakalim Brahma Vishnu Shivatmikam. Durga, fortress. She is treated as a sister. Remember this. Treating as a sister is different from this O positive sister. That is Rattam. Here it is Bhavana, that emotion. Emotionally they are related. From then on, every poet will invoke this particular relationship. Varaguru Janani Madashamani Mahishasuramardini Mandagamani Mangalavara Pradayini Sarasi Janaba Sodari Shankari Pahi Mam Sarasija Bimbadari Chit Prati Bimbadari Bindu Nadava Shankari Shankari Ambuja Ramana Sodari Adari Ambari Kadambari Nilambari Amba Nilayakshi Padmanabha Sahodari Unmesha Nimishotpanna Vipanna Bhuvanavali. Correct? So she is treated as a sister. So this has been described. The moment this girl was taken to the other side by Vasudeva, this girl started crying. Kamsa said, here is born the 8th child. He saw that child. Bhattadri says, how he took that child, he pulled that child. How did he pull? That is when he says, how did Kamsa pull the child? Like how a strong elephant would pluck a lotus, he pulled that child. Dhruvam kapadashalino madhuharasya maya bhave dasaviti kishorikam bhaginika karalangityam dvipo nalinikantariva mrinalika kamakshipa. Nalinikantam, like lotus. But he pulled that girl child that way. But that girl child escaped his arms and went into the sky. Like how did she go? Bhattadri says, Tato bhavadupasako jhatiti mrityupashadiva. Like how a devotee of Vishnu will escape the Yamapasham, she went into the sky. She stood as Durga. Ahamashesha surasura mohinim. She said, oh you fool. And they keep abusing him. Every now and then, muttal. You fool! The one who is there born to annihilate you is safe elsewhere. Do whatever you want. Durga went away. From that night again he didn't sleep. He had sleepless. He tried listening to Upanyasam. Even then he didn't get sleep. Imagine his state. So, on the other hand, Yashoda, the next morning after that delivery, and then, she wakes up, she sees one beautiful piece of beauty next to her. He's so handsome. She checked, it was a boy. The gynec had said girl. She had bought all clothes in pink and all jewelry like the septum, mullak, nattu, the mattal, everything for the girl child. And then 15 days return period was also over. Until you get out of that dream is reality. So you experience pain even in dream. Just like when you're out of that swapna dasha, you're in jagra dasha, you don't sense that. So in that dream, there will be a sound that you can't tolerate. It will give you pain. That comes, Shastram says, on the 7th night of the 7th month in the 70th year. That sound and that night is called Bhimarathi. That is why to overcome that Bhimarathi, they do Bhimaratha Shanti. Bhimaratha, it does not mean Bhimasratha. It comes from the word Bhimarathi. Bhimarathim Ivanyam. So that lady experienced pain and she fell onto that ground. Now she turned into a huge figure. She broke that living room wall. Sofa set, divan was all placed. All the work. Now with that sound, Yashoda came. Hare, yes, kya hua? Where is my child? Huge body lying. There was one blue color ant going on her. Oh, Krishna is there. Nanda Gopal came. He said, bring that ladder. They put that ladder on that body, climbed that body, took Krishna and gave. Now they had to dispose that particular body. Nanda Gopal thought, how to dispose this body? Pichumani! Opposite house. Pichumani said, yes, Nanda! We'll cut that body. Then Rajamani, Pichumani, Satish, Suresh, they all came. They started cutting the body. We need more help. Chandramouli? Mr. Chandramouli? Chandramouli also came. So they started cutting that body. When that body of that demoness was cut, all they should have sensed was an obnoxious odor, because body smells bad. But Bhattadri says, her body while being cut smelled like Mangaldeep, cycle brand, Gokul Santol. So good smell, like Chandanam. Why? Because when Krishna had touched, she became Pavitram. Pavitranam, Pavitramyo, Mangalanamscha Mangalam. Now there was demand for her body. One said, Inakure veral mattu vetti thandrungale. Aatla vechikren. Ava kaal veral. Chinna pisa kudunga aatla na vandu vechikren. Ella vasane. So she was burnt. Now, Krishna, Yashoda said, look at my child. Just 4-5 days since his birth, such things have happened. She took him to a cow and she went around the cow, gave protection to the child, and then she got some nails of a tortoise, tiger. It is a belief in the villages that if you put all these together in a black string and put, it is a protection to the child. It is called Dalat, Raksha. So, Kurma Vyagri Nakaparimalai Panchaheti Yashoda, says Parashara Bhatta. All this was tied. He had to be put to sleep. Yashoda voice korach. Veekana. So what she did was she outsourced to many vendors, because in many companies you don't do it only to one vendor, then there will be favoritism. So for same job, they may give modules to 3-4 companies. So she outsourced Talat. One she gave it to Periyalvar. Periyalvar said, okay, first I have to buy a cradle. He went to Usman Road, got one cradle. It was a pure gold cradle. Then he saw from a distance, only gold may not go well. Even if the making charge is high, I'll use some good stones. He used some sapphires, rubies and emeralds. Manikam katti, vairamidai katti, aani ponna seida vanna chirudottil, peni unakku piraman vidu thandan, manikkuralane talelo. Udayar kanamaniyodu on maadulam poo, இடைவிரவி கோத்த எழுத்தெழுகி நோடு விடையேறு காப்பாலி ஈசன் விடு தந்தான் உடையாய் அழேல் அழேல் தாலேலோ உலகம் அளந்தனே தாலேலோ வையம் அளந்தனே தாலேலோ எந்தம் பிரானார் எழில் திருமார்வர்க்கு சந்தம் அழகிய தாமரை தாளர்க்கு இந்திரன் தானும் எழிலுடு கிங்கிணி உடையாய் அழேல் அழேல் தாலேலோ. Like passing the baton. He said, I am done singing a lullaby. Can I give it to my good friend Narayana Tirtha? Said Periyalvar. Narayana Tirtha took that baton. I will do the honors. Sadhu janadhara sarvabhauma Madhava mamavadeva Krishna Madhava mamavadeva Krishna Yadava Yadukula Krishna Ambujalochana Kampu Shubhagriva Bimbadharas Chandra Bimbanana Champeyana Sagra. Look at the description. His nose used to be like the Champaka Pushpam. Champeyana Sagra Lagna Sumauktika Sharadas Chandra Janita Madana. Narayana Tirtha said, I have a very good new acquaintance, Facebook friend. What is his name? Uttukadu Venkada Kavi. Maninu Puradhari Rajagopala Maninu Puradhari Kankana Kinkini Kana Maninu Pura. Then he said, let us go to Kerala. Oh Manatingal Kidavo நல்ல கோமள தாமர பூவோ பூவில் நிரஞ்ச மதுவோ പരിപൂർണേന്ദു തന്നെ നിലാവോ പുത്തം പവിഴക്കൊടിയോ ചേരു തത്തകൾ കൊഞ്ചും മൊഴിയോ ചാഞ്ചാടിയാടും മയിലോ മൃദു പഞ്ചമം പാടും കുയിലോ. Then they said, let us give it to the modern Papanasam Shivan. Kailendi shirati paluti talata என்னதவம் செய்தனை யசோதா எங்கும் நீரை பரபிரம்மம் அம்மாவென்றழைக்க. What bhagyam that Yashoda, when the Lord calls her அம்மாவென்றழைக்க, எங்கும் நிறை பரபிரம்மம் அம்மாவென்றழைக்க என்ன தவம் செய்தனை. What fortune. That is why Devaki cries, she laments. Kulashekara Alvar says, every day that she was spending in jail when Krishna was not there, Devaki would say, tell Vasudeva, see, my child would have had food there. I don't know who would have put him to sleep. See, I'm sitting here as a waste person. I'm not even able to see my child. That every now and then, Nandagopa, very good friend with Vasudeva, used to come to the jail because visitors were allowed on certain days. He has to sign in the register and come. Then he used to come and tell Vasudeva, see, my child Krishna is doing very well. You know, he takes so much time to eat. Yashoda puts that food into his mouth and he will just throw that out. And whatever comes out of his mouth, Yashoda will put into her mouth. Alvar says, நீ உண்ட அடிசிலின் மிச்சல் யசோதை நங்கை பெற்று போனாளே. I am your mother and I don't have that ability to consume Krishna. That lady is getting bhagyam of consuming your mukha prasadam and I don't have. That is why I said Krishna avataram, every second is one shlokam. Then this boy used to be put near Shakatam. You know that Shakatam is a cart. So it was a belief in the village that if you keep the child next to a cart or you keep a broomstick next to the child, no ghost will come and attack. Yashoda kept this boy in the cradle next to the broken cart, and those small children were playing Lagori. You know that Lagori game? Stones will be kept and then you have to throw that ball, then you'll have to come and catch. So they were playing. Yashoda went in. There was an Asura who had possessed the Achetana Vastu. He was Utkacha by name. Since he had come in Shakatam, he was Shakata Asura. He came forcefully down to kill that child. The child was crying with its feet going up because it was hungry. In Tamil there's a saying, Kolanda wheel naduthu. Literally the child cried, wheel. As that Shakatam came, Vedanta Deshika says with Paduka Devi's power, Krishna just touched that cart. Little boy touched. The cart went multiple layers of troposphere, stratosphere and all it crossed. ये क्या बकवास बोल रहे हैं आप? एक छोटा सा बच्चा ऐसा कर सकता है क्या? In our movie, our Talaivar comes. 50 villains, all well-built villains, cutting Ravi, soda bottle Segar, all of them are coming. Now our hero will just hit like this, all 50 will fall. And after fighting for 1 hour, hero's makeup would have not come down. Avikaraya, Shuddhaya, Nityaya, Paramatmani. And as that hero walks, behind the transformer will burst. And all our Sishya Ganas, Samashrayana Sishyas will be doing whistle. When our hero can hit 50 people, you will agree. When my hero Krishna hits at Shakatam, you will question. Now the beauty is, see, anything that goes up has to come down. Simple gravitational law. But half of Shakatam didn't come back to the ground. Because the carpenter was called. He asked, Madam, where is the other part? Bhattadri says in Narayaniyam, they all attained moksham, it seems. Because it was touched by the Lord's words. Shuddha sattvam babhuva. So, if you all go to Vaikuntham, when you enter Vaikuntham, on the right hand side in one showcase, there will be one Shakatam. It will be put Shakatam, Dwapar Yug. That time, please remember me. போகும்போது 2-3 பேரா போறேன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, சிகாகோலேருந்து ஒரு குரூப்பா. அவர் அன்னைக்கு சொன்னார், ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? 5வது நாள் சொன்னார், அந்த சகனம் இதுதாண்டி. So, on the left hand side, remember in the showcase, there will be one pot. Pillai Perumal Iyengar says there was a person who used to be selling curds and buttermilk in a pot. He was called Dadi Bhanda. So he used to be selling. I'm sure 100 years before, no refrigerator, people used to buy curds. So this Dadi Bhanda used to sell. One day, well, Krishna, as he grew, he became very naughty, nutcut. So the mother started chasing him. He went, my mother is chasing me, Dadi Bhanda, please save me, Dadi Bhanda. Dadi Bhanda had sold all the Dadi for the day. He said, Krishna, you get inside my Bhanda, my pot. I will cover it. There will be 2 holes. Oxygen will come out. You manage to breathe. After your mother goes, I will release you. So he put Krishna inside that Bhandam. He sat next to the Bhandam. Yashoda is coming. Did you see Krishna? Tung. No, I didn't see him. Krishna is looking through those holes. Then after Yashoda went, Krishna said, thank you, Dadi Bhanda. Get me out, Dadi Bhanda. Dadi Bhanda said, no, I will not release you. Why, Dadi Bhanda? You give me moksham. Krishna, how did you know that I give moksham? Because in your fingers I saw Shankha Chakra Mudra. Give me moksham. Okay, I'll give you moksham towards the end of this janma. Okay. No, I won't release you. Why, Dadi Bhanda? Give moksham even to my pot. Krishna said, see, achetana vastu, there is no provision to give moksham. You have to give. Okay, I will give moksham to Dadi Bhandam also. That is why I told you in Vaikuntham, left hand side showcase, there will be Dadi Bhanda. Remember me that day. So, This Shakatam, Yashoda thought, what has happened again? First Putana came, living room vanished. Now that Shakatam has vanished, what? Even the 11th day is not over. That is why Krishna Avataram is very thrilling. Rama Avataram, normal. உங்க பிள்ளை எப்படி நான் நில்லுன்னா நிற்பான் உட்காருன்னா உட்காருவான் லேட்டாக எடுத்து கல்யாணம் இல்லையா. யூ டெல் த ப்ராஸ்பெக்ட் கேர்ள்ஸ் ஃபேமிலி, என் பிள்ளை நான் சொன்னால் தட்ட மாட்டான், அப்படி பிள்ளையே வேண்டாங்கிறான். யூ டெல், என் பிள்ளை நான் சொன்னால் கேட்கவே மாட்டான், அவர் தான் எங்கள் மாப்பிள்ளை, வாங்க. No, your children all will be good. நீங்கள் தப்பாக எடுத்துக்காதீங்க. So, Yashoda now teaches Krishna. Hold my hand, put that foot, that foot forward, that foot, this foot. Vedanta Deshika asks, yesterday at 8:05 he measured the worlds, and today this lady teaches him how to walk. Padaistribhi kranti jagatrayam tam sambhavaya balita balabhavam karena sangrihya karambujagriyam sancharayamasa shanair Yashoda. This lady is teaching Trivikrama how to walk. This can happen only in Krishna Avataram. He was a very stout boy. See, Rama was a gym body person. He will measure his calories today. Yesterday I had a lot of sweets, so I'll go on a diet. I'll go on keto. So these many calories, just give me some fresh veggies and broccoli and bok choy to go with it. I wouldn't want to go for something like paneer. I would like to go like tofu. All this Rama will do. Krishna is like us. Adirasam, rendu chakkai, alva, ellam kadichu. So, the entire world will be in his belly. Shri Vasudeva Andakotla Kukshi Undi. Bulk. Heavy boy. So, he couldn't even sit properly. He used to crawl. And as he used to crawl, mother used to give him some fresh butter. See, it's called Hayyanga Veenam in Sanskritam. Hayyanga Veenam is fresh butter. Fresh butter won't smell bad. Only if you keep them for many days in Costco, it will smell bad. Fresh butter. Hayyanga Veenam. So she used to give him Hayyanga Veenam, assuming he will be able to have. But since he's crawling, what butter would stay in his palm wouldn't reach his mouth. He was that bulky, he couldn't even reach. And so the scorching rays of the sun would melt the butter. And as the butter used to melt, he used to find it slippery. And as he used to slip, he used to feel, what is there? My hand isn't reaching my mouth. And he used to start drooling. Drooling. Jollu. See, drooling, jollu is an emotion. Drooling doesn't give that emotion. See, there are certain words, even if you translate, he is not smart. Is not equivalent to ashad. அது இருக்கு பாருங்க, ashad, not smart. You know, that is why at times lectures in English are a disadvantage. But I can't help, because if I have to speak in Telugu for the Telugu audience, Kannada for the Kannada audience, then how many languages I keep speaking? I won't know those many languages also. So the only language that binds us all together is A to Z. Right? Victoria Maharajni, they all, Elizabeth Rani, the Charles, they all will bind us. So Krishna was drooling. On the other side there were tears, copious tears coming from his eyes. I'm not able to have the butter is melting, he's not able to consume, he's drooling, tears. And with every crawl and that every movement, there's a rhythmic sound that emanates from the bells attached to his girdle, Mekhala. So Annamacharya, who goes to Tirupati, says, I don't want to see this Venkateshwara Swami who's dressed so elite. I want to see him as Krishna with the rhythmic sound coming from the jingles of his Mekhala, the girdle, and the tears that roll down his cheeks, and the drooling that comes out because of non-consuming the butter which is there as a ball in his hand. Kati ghatita ಮೇಖಲಾ ಖಚಿತಮಣಿ ಘಂಟಿಕಾ ಪಟಲ ನಿನದೇನ ವಿಭ್ರಾಜ್ಯಮಾನಂ ಕುಟಿಲ ಪದ ಘಟಿತ ಸಂಕುಲ ಶಿಂಜಿತೇ ನಟಂ ಚಟುಲ ನಟನಾ ಸಮುಜ್ವಲ ವಿಲಾಸಂ ಭಾವಯಾಮಿ ಗೋಪಾಲಬಾಲಂ ಮನಸೇವಿತಂ ತತ್ಪದಂ ಚಿಂತಯೇಯಂ ನಿರತಕರಕಲಿತ ನವನೀತಂ ನಿರತಕರಕಲಿತ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾದಿ ಸುರನಿಕರ ಭಾವನಾ ಶೋಭಿತ ಪದಂ ತಿರುವೆಂಕಟಾಚಲಸ್ಥಿತಂ ಅನುಪಮಂ ಹರಿಂ ಪರಮಪುರುಷಂ ಗೋಪಾಲಬಾಲಂ ಭಾವಯಾಮಿ. See, every moment Krishna was called for bathing. Yashoda said, it's been 2 weeks. You have not even been to a hostel. Where did you get this habit of not taking bath? So, in Pilani, the first year when I went, the bathrooms used to be fully occupied. As the years progressed, dry bathrooms. எப்போ குளிச்சேன்? போன வருஷமே குளிச்சுட்டேன். கொரத்தி மகனாய் பிறந்து, not ஒருத்தி. So here Krishna was called because Rama was extremely Achara Shila. Remember, Rama was extremely Achara Shila, would adhere to Achara. Whereas Krishna is like us. Wherever he will talk rules. So what? So Yashoda said, come and take bath, my dear son. Periyalvar said, Yashoda ji, आप ऐसे बुलाएंगे तो वो कैसे आएगा? उसको ठीक तरह से बुलाइए तो. வெண்ணை அளைந்த குணுங்கும் விளையாடும் புழுதியும் கொண்டு தின்ன இவ்விரா உன்னை தேய்த்து கிடக்க நான் ஒட்டேன் எண்ணெய் புளிப்பழங்கொண்டு எங்கே இப்போதிருந்தேன் நன்னலறிய பிரானே நாரணா நீராடவாராய். Come and take bath. Krishna then used to put some powders of the Yamuna mud because it used to look like argentum, silver powder. He used to put some silver powder and then say, Mom, because he is dark, silver powder on him used to glisten. Mom, do you like me now? She was surprised. He used to look like those models placed outside the jewelry shop. Do I look good now? What do you want me to take bath? For a minute she used to be surprised. She used to say, you look so good. Then she used to be reminded, no, Krishna, come and take bath, come and take bath. It's been many months since you have taken bath. Water conservation is enough, Dakanna, come here. Why should I come? See, my brother's daughter Neela called Nappinai is going to marry you soon. If you don't take bath, she will say, you call yourself a mother-in-law, மாமியார் வாய்க்கிழிய பேசறியே, கூளிக்க கூட கத்து தெரியாத நீயா, நப்பின்னை காணில் சிரிக்கும் மாணிக்கமே என் மணியே மஞ்சனம் ஆட நீ வாராய். மாணிக்கமே என் மணியே. See, Alvar's Pasurams, when they are converted to music. But of course in the temples we can't do that. In Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam, we have to keep reciting every day. There is a Goshti, Paddhati, there is Adhyanotsavam. Then if we start singing in Neelambari and Kamboji, it will take 3-6 months. And that too, half of Goshti, first 4 lines, by the time one finishes, the other person will run. Ayyo, irunga sir, varla. See, he sings a talat. Manikam Katti, but we can't do this in the temple every day. Manikam, yaar budva. Manikam Katti, Vairamani Katti, Anipunna, Dela, Vannatil, Beni, Nakabiram, Bidda, Irungo Mama, Manikuralane, Talelo, Yamalandane, Talelo. So there is a Paddhati everywhere. In music also you should do it minimally. So now Krishna had to be given. Now, why did he steal butter? That is where Vedanta comes. Butter which he relishes, loves, consumes is the Jivatma. The pot that holds it is the Shariram, Achetanam. So he used to take the butter, taste it and break the pot. Taraka bindige nanirig hogube tare bindige ya bindige hodadare onde kasu tare bindige ya bindu madhavana ghattakke hoguve tare bindige ya. So there is a philosophy in it. What is the philosophy? Now when we steal, there is no philosophy. You know, somebody who steals, you say, I have heard Bhagavatam. I have taken gold from your house. Gold is like Jivatma. Your house is like Shariram. See, that is why philosophy is good only for the person who practices it. See, if we say Shariram is Anityam, Atma is Nityam, that is what Krishna explains to Arjuna, right? Bhagavad Gita, higher level we have gone. Now a person from Syria will come and put the bomb and say, that is what I am doing. Atma is eternal, it is going to Vaikuntham. Shariram is Anityam, they can twist. That is why they always keep Vedanta as Kalakshepam. You know what is Kalakshepam? Have you heard of this word? Kshepa, Kshipa, all these are verbs that say wasting. Kalakshepa means wasting time. Literally, Kalakshepam. But listen to this very carefully. In Sanskritam, when two words come together, their meanings necessarily don't have to come together. Maha, what is Maha? Big. Vriksham, tree. Mahavriksham, big tree. We will think the shortest tree is called Mahavriksham in Sanskritam. Punyam, what is Punyam? We have come here, sir, which we have not made. Punyam. Janaha, people. Punya Janaha, people who have done Punyam is the meaning? No. Rakshasas were called Punya Janaha. Vedanta Deshika uses this very intelligent Punya Janaha while describing Akrura. Gramam, Simham. Grama Simham means dog. So if someone says, Na cholindrinenga Grama Simham. So you'll be thinking, Singham, you're a dog. Bhairavi, Bhargavi. So here, Kalakshepam, Kala, time, Kshepa, wasting. Kalakshepam doesn't mean wasting time, it means spending time usefully. So that is why Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, whose teachings can be misconstrued. That is why they kept it as Kalakshepam study. Only if you have progressed in Itihasa Puranam, you can listen to Gita. Remember this, whenever I come to the West, some universities, they'll say, what do you know about Hinduism? Gita. This Gita, you should not take first. It is a disaster. First, you should start with Itihasa Puranam, Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, Bhagavatam, Vishnu Puranam. You should have a very good, strong footing in that. Then you can understand Gita very well. If you take Gita first, disaster, pralayam. Because all these teachings, we can't understand. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu. He says, do your duty, don't expect. Why does our child study? To go to Ann Arbor, Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, WashU. They want to go to good universities. They have an objective, phalam, they are studying. But if you tell them, study well, don't expect the result, it is very not understandable. That is why you shouldn't study Gita first. Because there is a different way of interpreting this karmanyeva adhikaraste. This is not the meaning. Pothi sells. Any bag you buy, kadamayai sei palanai edirpaakade. Buy the sari, don't pay the bill. Let's see what Pothis does. Ninga thane sollirkel, pay, do your duty, don't expect result. Don't expect your result. That is why Bhagavad Gita requires an acharya. Otherwise, if you read the book, huge possibility of misinterpreting. People say, this, it has become a fashion statement. I've been trying to read the Gita, it's beautiful. I don't know how they read. Maybe they are all children of God, they will realize it better. Because first step to Sanatana Dharma, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Vishnu Purana. Strong you should be in this. Then when you read Gita, you can associate the examples very easily. You won't misinterpret. So there should be no status symbol holding have the Bhagavad Gita, but don't read it until you become good at these 4 scriptures. Well, Krishna says, I am there always, Dushyanth, but today you have taken 2 hours and 26 minutes. 11 minutes short of Bahubali 2. Correct. There, beautiful Anushka, handsome Prabhas, Kattappa, Pattappa, they were all there. But here who is there? But you all sat, 2 hours 26 minutes has gone. In your house, just imagine sitting in one place for 2 hours 26 minutes. So you have all made the impossible possible. That shows the bhakti of CSKs. You are all in yellow, right? Yesterday, what was the color? Blue. What is blue? Mumbai Indians. You are all Mumbai Indians. What is the color? Well, let's do one color for tomorrow. Red. Can we go for shades of red? What red is the mami kitarka? So shades of red. You don't have to buy if there is something is not there. In the red potukkudu edo red madri irukradha potukkudu. Or if you have something in white, drench it in கண்ணூஞ்சலடி இருந்தாள் காஞ்சனமாலை மனமகிழ்ந்தாள் கண்ணூஞ்சல். Do one nalanga in the house and drench it and come. So tomorrow, shades of red. So tomorrow the topic is Navanita Chauryam, Ulukhala Bandhanam, Govardhanodharanam, Kalinga Nartanam, Venuganam, Rasakrida, Kamsavadham, Paniniya Ashramavasam, Sandipaniya Ashramavasam. So we have a beautiful, between Krishna's 11th day, because tomorrow we have to give him the name. We are calling him Krishna. He's like US child. The moment he's born, we have given him a name. But technically he was given a name later by Gargacharya. From that till his tutelage, we'll be doing it tomorrow. A beautiful day. I'm sure there'll be other engagements in your city, but go to the neighboring house, knock at their door, hold their hand and pull them here. You have to bring them here. Bring each one, bring one more devotee. There are a few chairs left here. There's many place here. Here also you can sit. Madilo karadu kashtam, but here also there is place. Please bring more devotees. 2 more days to go. So tomorrow we have Dashamaskandham, and on Sunday, tomorrow the same timings. Sunday alone it shall begin at 3 to 5. Then after that, the temple authorities have been so benevolent, they have arranged for Kalyana Sapad, because Kalyana Samayil Sadam, Kaigarigal Pramadam. So we have on Sunday after Rukmini Kalyanam. So Sunday is a beautiful day. We have Rukmini Kalyanam, Krishna Satyabhama Kalyanam, Usha Parinayam, Pradyumna Parinayam, Santana Gopala Charitram, Kuchelo Pakhyanam, Muchukunda Stuti, and many portions. And finally we'll conclude it with Rukmini Kalyanam. So all this on Sunday from 3 p.m. Tomorrow the same timing, 6:30, we will be doing Dashamaskandam. I will conclude it with the Mangalam. Then one or two instructions Narayan Swami will have to say. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Swasti Prajabhyav Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasendriyaidva Buddhyatmanava Prakriti Svabhavat Karomi Etyat Sakalam Parasme Sriman Narayanayeti Samarpayami Kalyana Rupaya Kalau Jananam Kalyana Dhatre Karuna Sudhapte Kambadi Divya Yudha Satkaraya Vatalayadhisha Namo Namaste Narayana 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 Thank you.
What a mesmerizing performance today. Tears were rolling around when Yashoda was getting the chance, but Devaki did not get. I was really crying. Every one of you should post that. I would like to post that, actually. I was thinking about my mother. Thank you very much, Dushyanth, for narrating that. Excellent. Give him a very big applause. Today we have some more nice fruits are here. When you leave orderly, whatever fruits are here, Shivramanji or other person who will help volunteers, please collect. Outside we have excellent prasadam today. The Venpongal presented to Lord Krishna is waiting for you. Take it. As usual, take the dinner.